Hello, everybody. I'm just gonna get right into it. I got kidnapped at my friend's Super Bowl party. So, out of context, it sounds strange and bad, but in reality, this is just something that happens at just about every party I've been to. Okay, well, I say parties, but like really, they're just get-togethers with like at most like 8 people. Um, but just to keep it uncomplicated, I'm gonna call it a party. I know I'm a bit late to this, as it's been a couple of days since the Super Bowl happened. As of recording this, it happened like 3 days ago. So yeah. Um. But also, the story happened like 3 days ago at the Super Bowl. Or not like at the stadium, but like at like when it happened. That's what I'm trying to say. Um. So yeah, last Thursday I was chilling at home when I get a text in my group chat with all my idiot friends, and one of those idiots, I'm just gonna call Michael, asked us if we wanted to come over to his house for the Super Bowl. Now, I'm not the biggest fan of football. I'm not really into football. I never have been. I mean, I understand how the game works and some of the terminologies in it, but in my opinion, I would rather watch a more entertaining sport like cheese rolling. By the way, Tom Cook, he did a great. He did great in last year's cheese rolling race. I just want to say, shout out to my boy Tom. Anyways, so I already didn't want to go to this as I'm not really into football, and quite frankly, I don't really care about the Super Bowl because over half of it is just boring commercials. Um, but then like all my friends started saying yes, and I felt all this pressure to go, and all the FOMO. So I just blindly said yes. If I'm being honest, I don't even remember like saying yes. I kind of just like remember, oh, I'm going to this now. So yeah. But I was really just hoping for two things, just two things. First of all, I was hoping that it wasn't gonna be boring, as a lot of Super Bowl parties sometimes are. But two, I also didn't want in it. I didn't want it to become crazy, as it usually does with my friend. Because okay, I love my friends, right? I love them, but uh, they're basically my second family. But they are also some of the most stupid people I have ever met, and they they always get us into these crazy situations that I didn't want to put up with it. I didn't want to put up with their crap on a Sunday night right before work, and especially since I already know I'm staying up late because of the Super Bowl. So yeah. Um so next thing you know, it's the Sunday night, Super Bowl Sunday, and I get an Uber to my friend's house because I got my license taken away. That's a whole other thing. This will be important later in the story. Um, and so I walk in, and they're already being annoying. They won't stop arguing of which teams will win and all of that crap. Oh, go Eagles, go Chiefs, all that stupid crap. Um, so yeah, the second quarter hits, and it's 0-17, and the Chiefs are losing, and chaos just erupts at the party. I'm talking fighting, fists, and food being thrown. I think a couple people got stabbed at some point. I'm not entirely sure. Um, but all I know is that I mean, okay. After I did do a head count, and we went from 9 people to 7, so take that information as you will. So yeah. So finally, everything calms down. Once Kendrick was getting ready for the halftime performance. So yeah. Then Kendrick Lamar, he comes on screen, and my friends start losing it, and not in the hyped way that you think that they would. They were excited, and I'm not gonna say in what way that they were excited, Because I think if I said the way that they were excited, that I would definitely, this video would maybe get taken down by YouTube, because I don't know their policies and stuff yet, so, yeah. But anyways, because of what was happening with my friends being excited, I decided I was gonna call the Uber to leave, and I told my friends this. And that was kind of the big mistake looking back. So yeah. So the fourth quarter hits now, and my Uber finally arrives, because Uber takes forever. It's Super Bowl Sunday. There's like probably a million people getting Ubers and crap, so yeah. So I say goodbye to all my friends, and I walk out the door, and all of a sudden, I get donked in the head. I get knocked out. And next thing you know, I wake up and I'm on my knees with a bag over my head. So a couple minutes later, I'm just completely confused, and and at first I thought I was honestly dead, because I couldn't see anything, I couldn't really feel anything, I just woken up and all that. But then the bag gets removed, and and next thing you know, I'm sitting in a pentagram made of blood. And I could tell it's blood from the smell. And also because of that smell, I looked up and there was a hanging goat. Am I allowed to say that on YouTube? I'm not entirely sure. Whatever. I'll risk it. Whatever. Next thing I know, there are these guys in robes surrounding me. They kind of looked like the robe guys from the Shadows of Evil Black Ops 3 map. If you don't know what they look like, I'll put an image on screen for you. So yeah, that's what they look like. But then they said the ritual will be complete, or something like that. I know my impression was probably terrible and it didn't sound good at all, but that's what they sounded like, a deep, rough, gruggly voice. So then they all pulled out guns and they shot the goat while it was hanging above me. So now there's goat stuff all over me. And again, I'm not sure what's allowed on YouTube or whatever. So just to be safe, I'm not going to say what was all over me, but I think you can assume with a goat hanging above me. Yeah. So yeah. And then one thing leads to another, and now they have the guns pointing at me. So now I'm fearing for my life, and if I'm being honest, I thought I was dead. I thought that I was not making it out of this situation. I've been in some crazy situations, and I'll tell you, I did not think I was making it out of this one. Considering that cults are crazy and all that. So, yeah. But then I hear one of my friends say, I hear one of my friends laugh. And that's how I knew that I was confused at first, and then Michael took off his robe and said, or not the robe, not the whole robe, God no. He just took off the hood and said, and just looked at the other guy and said, like, really? Come on, man. Like, he started getting mad at him. He got so mad. So, yeah. The prank was over. As it turns out, it was a prank. And yeah, kind of crazy. I ended up leaving after that, and I'm honestly still kind of mad at them, considering that they kind of, did the whole, making me fear for my life thing. So, yeah, I mean, it's not out of character, though, for them to do that sort of thing. They've done things even, worse to me and to some of our other friends in the group for way smaller and minuscule things. This is just the most recent one. I decided I wanted to share it with everybody. Also, there's no updates about my brother, so if you're wondering about that, just stop wondering. There's nothing to wonder about. Like I said, I'll update you guys when there is something to wonder about. But yeah. Alright, that's That's about it. Thanks.